So I'm thinking just as I go about how amazingly complex the world is. And the world is full of so many systems which have been designed and built and maintained by men. And it is absolutely awesome the range of machines and systems that we have around us. Like even the central heating system in your house, the radiators and the boiler and all the pipe work that has to be done, and the electricity and gas, all has to function perfectly to keep our houses warm. And it all has to be monitored and paid for and maintained, and it's just all amazing. And then there's simple things like a cooker or a microwave, the machinery and electronics and the construction of these devices, these machines is all incredible. And then there's the computer and the television and the radio and all of these broadcast technologies and the telephone lines going all over the country and all over the world even. And then there are satellites and aeroplanes and cars. All of these machines and systems operating all of the time, everywhere. And it is just unbelievable how complex the world is. And it's becoming more complex all the time. So the way we live now is very different to how it was 50 years ago, and then 50 years before that. So that means in 50 years from now, the world is going to be very different again. It's going to be incredibly difficult, and we can't even imagine how much things will change. Like if we try and think of how life was 50 years ago in, let's say, 1970 or whatever, things were much more basic. There was no internet. There wasn't much in the way of computing at all, as far as I know. And to have no internet, that by itself was just completely amazing. And we got all these satellites all the time, space journeys, and it's just blowing my mind thinking of all of the machinery and electronics we have in our environment. And men built these things and maintain these things and invent these things. And I'm singling out men because I think that it's worthwhile. It is a good thing to recognize the efforts and the genius of men that's improved our lives so much and continually improving our lives. And there's nothing wrong with pointing out brilliance when it occurs. And men are just incredibly creative, absolute geniuses in producing all kinds of things, and we live so well the way we do because of the genius of men. And life will only get better over time. And it seems impossible and incredible, but it will happen. And men will do it. Men will be the leaders. And it is just too much what is going on in the world and how complex the world is. All of the machines everywhere, all the electricity running everywhere, all of the gas right through the whole country, millions of people, and television across the whole nation, and satellites all over the place. It's making my head hurt thinking about all of these machines and systems that we have all over the place, and they're developing all the time, becoming more complex all the time. And it is amazing how complex the world is and how amazing it is, basically. I haven't spent much time thinking about it and just trying to understand, trying to comprehend just how amazing the world is. And it is worth taking a minute to think about how incredibly complex the world is, how amazing it is, basically.